If I know one thing for certain about shooting shotguns with Dave Miller, it's that there's always going to be a bunch of different options sitting on the front of his rig. And I bet I'm right about that again today, aren't I?
I hope you like shooting pumps, Luke, because
pumps.
I got them. That's the CZ612 Field, and then we got the CZ620 Field Select and the CZ628 Field Select.
Okay, so if you know me, you know that I'm already going to grab the 612. That's a given. And if I know you, I'd put money on you grabbing the 620 right there.
No, today I'm going to shoot my favorite. That's the CZ628.
You're picking the 28.
I love 28 gauge.
All right, let's see what that little thing can do.
All right.
Dave, it seems like more often than not, the big old 12 has a hard time knocking pheasants out of the sky, right? And then now you're telling me that that little thing is going to do it.
You know, it's all about how you place your shot and how you get set up to take the shot before you pull the trigger. Chucker. When you hit that bird, you're not hitting it with more than 7, 8, 9, 10 shot pellets, okay, with the 12. Well, that's all I need out of that 3/4 of an ounce of shot that's in that 28 gauge shell too. It's all about the core of the pattern and where you put it. You know, the pattern's a little bit smaller, but it's just as deadly.
I totally get what you're saying, but if you put a 28 next to a 12, it just doesn't seem like there's enough there. It doesn't even seem close.
Yeah. There's no comparing this 28 to this big old 12 gauge, but I will tell you, this 3/4 of an ounce of payload in this shotgun shell inside the bore diameter of a 28 gauge is nearly ballistically perfect. So what you have is the best recipe that you could possibly have with that small bore. Unlike a 410 or even a 12 gauge, where to be ballistically perfect, you'd have to add a whole lot more shot to this.
What you're saying when you're talking about ballistically perfect is that your felt recoil to payload down range ratio is the perfect part.
You're absolutely correct, Luke. Compare that to the 12. Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same amount of shot, but it's the same speed. The shot still goes the same distance, and it's coming out with the same amount of energy. There's just a little bit less of it. So you have to be a little bit more precise on where you shoot your bird and how you place your shot, which all starts at the beginning. When you mount your gun and go after the target, you want to make sure that you're doing the right things. No different than you would with your 12. You just got to be a little bit better.
Says anybody who can't handle the recoil of a 12.
Well, you might be right. I am getting a little softer in my old age, but I tell you, I can put more of these in my pocket than you can, so.
Here's the deal, Dave. You have more experience with shotguns than anybody else I know, and I mean that. But still, there's no way I'm going to try and pluck a rooster from the sky with that 28 until I can actually first see what it can do.
All right, well, let's go do it on the pattern sheet. I got one right over here.
All right.
All right, Luke, you take the top part of the pattern sheet. Just going to shoot about 15 inches below the top bar.
Okay.
I'll shoot 15 inches above the center bar, or the bottom bar, center, and we'll compare your big 12 to my sweet little 28 gauge.
Straight up A/B test. Both shooting mods, both shooting 7.5, both shooting from the same spot.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, you got more shot than I do. You got 1 1/8 of 7.5. I'm shooting 3/4 of an ounce of 7.5. But I bet you're going to be surprised when we compare them.
All right, I'll give it a chance.
Luke, I'm just happy to see that you hit that 44 by 44 pattern sheet.
Well, let's
with
see
your big old 12 gauge.
I could have missed half of it and probably still put more shot on that board than your 28's going to do.
Let's see.
All right.
Okay, let's go have a look.
All right.
Okay, we'll have a look at that. You definitely got more shot in there. This is me with the 28. Mine's a little more open. You definitely have a lot more shot in a smaller area, but I bet you're surprised to see that this is bigger than yours.
I don't want to say it, but yeah, I am surprised.
Okay, remember when we were back at the Kubota earlier, we were talking about how efficient these were.
Yeah.
You just shot 1 1/8 of 7.5s right there, okay? No doubt, that's a nice tight centered pattern, looks great. There is 3/4 of an ounce of 7.5s. Still no room for a clay target or a quail to get out of that at the same distance, right? So who has to be more precise, me or you? You thought it would probably be this way, right?
That stellar little pattern right there, that's exactly what you meant when you said the 28 is ballistically perfect, isn't it?
That's right. Let's go find some birds. We saw the differences in the patterns, and the 12 gauge was tighter with more shot at 17 yards, right? 28 gauge was very uniform, but you won't see me shooting at birds past 25 yards. That's where the big 12 gauge comes in, 25 and out. It will outperform at distance. you're looking to get into 28 gauge, the CZ628 is light, it's fast, and it's lethal. You just got to be selective with your shots.